and order it from Amazon, iUniverse, or even go on eBay. And eBay, sometimes you can negotiate a little. It will say what's your offer, and you can put in, $5 and see if you get it and go back and forth. That's kind of fun. And I've never had a problem with any of those forums with getting the books, and I'm surprised at how many bookstores will say, oh, no, I can order that book for my customers. So that's another. If you have a favorite, by all means, give the local shop. We still want to see book stores out there. I like to support local businesses myself, so I'd see if they can get it for me and then go that way.
Excellent. Well, this has been, I hate to use the word enjoyable, but you are such a good storyteller that I have enjoyed listening to you. I've not enjoyed the things that you said because this is a difficult book. But you are,
sorry, Suzanne.
No, you're an excellent storyteller, and I think that there are people in our listening audience who identify with everything that you have talked about. And I always like to give an author the last word about their work. And when it's a work that is as personal as yours is, I think that's doubly important. When the listeners become readers, and however they decide to get a copy of Jockey Daughter, whether it's electronic or whether it's a physical copy, they sit down and they read the book cover to cover and they finish. They close either electronically or physically the back cover for the last time. Is there a bottom line message? Is there something that you want that reader to leave with after they've read Jockey Daughter?
We touched upon it a tiny bit that if you see something, whether it's in a grocery store or something jumps out at you with having a child or a teenager around that just doesn't sit right, the best response can be from a stranger. The family will keep it contained, but a stranger will see it from an unbiased position and be able to really push a little more to get that out. I always find it fascinating, even with missing children, that show up, that it's someone who had the antenna up that did it, like with J.C. Dugard. It was 2 female police officers that said, this isn't sitting right. And their mother antennas went up, and they were able to bring that girl home after 17 years. And I also want your listeners to know that we're an attractive bunch, we're educated, and I don't, at this point, think that I'm a victim, and that all of my siblings were recipients, and it's a passage of time. But we were able to move forward, become doctors, lawyers, financial analysts, UPS drivers. We moved forward and had and have wonderful lives. So you can break that cycle, and you don't have to sit in malaise the rest of your life. If you're sitting in malaise, go join a Zumba class or pickleball or something that will get the energy, those demons out of your brain, and get a goal. I know a girl, not to keep talking, but who lost a leg in a car accident, a woman. And the doctor said, you're smart, go to law school. And she did. She said, I was depressed and was going to kill myself because she had a lot of sympathy for herself, of course. But she ended up being the best student, and I've lost track of her, but I bet she's a good lawyer. So you have to think of something positive, whether it's crocheting the best blanket, growing the best rose. Do something that gets you away from those thoughts, and then you'll live a happy, healthy life.
I love that, and I love that you have written this book, that it's been cathartic for you. I'm sure it has generated interesting discussions within your siblings because nobody views a situation exactly the same way. Thank you for being brave enough to share the story behind the curtain in Jockey Daughter. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you and to have you as a guest on Books on Air. Thank you so very much for being here today.
And thank you, Suzanne. and your wonderful listeners. Thank you all for listening. I appreciate it.
Now remember, you can find Jockey Daughter by Tracey, Tracey Cooper on Amazon. You've been listening to the Books on Air podcast, brought to you on webtalkradio.net. You can also hear this podcast on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, as well as Apple Podcasts. I'm Suzanne Harris, and I hope you'll join us for the next Books on Air podcast, because remember, you never know who's going to be here, and you never know what we're going to talk about. Thank you so very much for listening.